Hi guys, we're the Thomas Travels and this is another walkthrough video. This one is the Makadi Bay Waterpark and this is a brilliant day out. So the place is made up with many different pools. This is not for the smallest kids, but it's for like the next step up, as you could say. It's a very cool pirate ship. The slides on there are pretty cool, and just like the Jazz Aquaviva, the lifeguards in here are very much on it. They will whistle for any reason, like go walking up the slides or just general misbehaviour. As you can see, there are lots of sunbeds and lots of different locations where you can get set up. The covers over all these areas are pretty good. If you are someone who wants more shade, there are better places than around these pools, and you're better off getting into one of the little corners where there's more of these covers round and you can track it past the sun. Obviously using the trees where you can. This is probably the smallest kids pool, so you've got lots of the normal slides that you'll find in a normal little splash park in most hotels. Various points around the park there are these shower blocks, which could be quite useful if you want to get the chlorine off you for any reason. Into what could be the bigger kids splash pool. The slides here are pretty cool. As you can see, it's not exactly a small setup. You've got tube slides, you've got round and roundy, is that a term you could use? But yeah, there's loads of little bits they can hide out in, water drops, the works. As you can see from the trees, there is quite a nice breeze up this end of the site. As I mentioned in the Jazz Aquaviva video, this water park is linked directly to the hotel, and the other hotels down in the Makadi Bay area, they do have access to this park via the bus. So whereas if you're at the Jazz Aquaviva, you can have access to the bus to get to the beach, they can come up from the beach to the water park. However, there is a separate entrance, which we'll see in a moment. Just like the Jazz Aquaviva next door, the grounds and the gardening is pretty good. And the staff here are linked to the hotel, I believe, and it does work, if I'm honest. You've got a lot of different areas that have the same standards. This is probably an area you're not going to use too much. There's better ways of getting up here. However, this is probably the best and only, I would say, disabled access up to the food area. So this area here is the food court for the water park, and you've got a mix of things being served up here. You've got sandwiches, pizzas, some pasta dishes, ice cream, pastries, self-serve drink station. Never saw that ice cream place open. Another self-serve drink station, and then another sandwich place. Loads of seating up here. However, I did see it get quite busy, but there was always seats. Set of toilets up this end as well. This is a much bigger shop than the one situated down at the hotel. This sells, as you can see, load of touristy items. However, they do have a big bag selection, a big watch selection, big jewelry section, and some clothes in there as well. This shop is open till 11. Will apologise for the camera quality from here on in on this section. I was needing a drink very badly. Whacked the camera in my pocket, didn't realise it was a bit wet on the screen, and then just proceeded to carry on going. My bad. Just saw then from the slides where I mentioned the water drops, that big bucket of a pirate's head. Is that what? Yeah, you can class it as a pirate's head. That drops every couple of minutes, and yeah, you do get a load of kids standing under it and get a bit of a screech going on. As I said though, for slightly bigger kids, you can set yourself up around here and just let them go in this. Like I said, it's 40 centimeters deep. It's really good for them to just run around. We did it for a few days. But in this shot here, you can see what the main attraction is. These slides have a bit of everything. That I genuinely think all the different water parks around different hotels or around the world that we've been to, this just has bits from all of them and it just works. This building here on the left has a toilet block. However, this section sells bubble tea, ice cream, and things like that. This is chargeable. Everything here is not part of the hotel. There's no bar in here, for example. That's because obviously it's just the water park. The bubble tea man there, if you are staying at the Jazz Viva, can do you some sort of favours if you want to pay for like a package, for example. This is a big ring slide that families can use. There's two different sizes. One of them fits 4 and one of them fits 6, I think. And then we're getting into the different ring slides. These ones you can use as a single or a double. Double like that. Or a single like that on the left. Loads of different options of slides. You've got some that are very quick, you've got some that have got very quick corners, you've got pitch black slides. This is pretty good. One straight ahead was quite a cool one. You come down into that bowl on a ring or a double ring. You go round and round and round and round and round, and then straight down another slide out of the middle. Took the 6-year-old on that, and she absolutely loved it after the first time. As you can see, there's so many different locations in this area, so many different exit pools, and if you wanted to get yourself set up on a sun lounger, you could, but you're never going to be at the bottom of the slide. Your kids are always coming down. Separate little pool here at the back end of the water park. These slides, as you can see from the fella that's come down there, are extremely quick. You'll get a better view when I come around the back end of them. I ended up gaining a bit of air coming off it, and yeah, got asked by the lifeguard if I was alright, as I was smashing down each side coming off the bottom. But I was all good. You can see this, you can see the steepness and how people can get a fair bit of speed coming down there. Blue and the yellow do the same things roughly. The blue just goes down straight away and the yellow gets a little bit of a bump. This red, yellow and orange slide though is possibly the creme de la creme for me. It starts off open at the top, you can see there, goes down, comes up, you get some hoses in your face, you get into a tunnel slide, you go round inside, you come down, and then you come into this vertical, go then fall backwards into the pool. It is absolutely brilliant. Like I mentioned earlier though, you can see the trees, you can see the breeze. This is quite a nice, cool place, but there is, when you're walking around, very limited shade, and it is quite brutal sometimes. Then you come round to what are the racing slides. So these slides, as you can see, you can get a bunch of people into them. They all start in a tube. They don't start in the same order as that. You get in the tube, you come down, and yeah, it's a race to the bottom. Coming back up from what is probably one of the furthest places in the park, you can see lots of these green runs up the centre. These are ways to get back up into the middle of the slide sections. And one thing I will say, despite the fact that there's hundreds of exits, the ways you can get up back into the middle are very efficient. Like there's no way that you could be coming out the bottom of a slide and be back up at the top of the stairs within, you know, a minute. Another bowl slide straight ahead. This one you come down on a mat, come around the bowl and flush straight out of the bottom. Another vertical type slide. This one goes up and down a couple of times. One thing I hope you will be able to note from all these is the absolute safety from the lifeguards here. There's no overwhelming numbers being thrown down the slides. They're always waiting for the landing pools to be clear. And the one thing I will say is I never worried. I'm a glasses wearer. I obviously can't wear glasses on slides. So I have to put absolute trust in the lifeguards of these sort of things to make sure I'm not going to land on somebody at the bottom. And yeah, I never had a doubt. Loads of places to pick up rings from, loads of places to put the rings back when you've finished. The yellow slide here was probably my 6-year-old's absolute favourite. She was going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Another vert slide, they're pretty cool. Then continuing from this area, we'll be coming down the stairs to the left and pretty much completing the loop. So the building ahead of you is where the bubble tea was and the toilets. Thank you very much for sticking with us on that video. Like I said, they're not in the normal ilk of videos we produce. I just wanted to produce some walkthrough videos for the hotel and the water park. We're the Thomas Travels. We post family travel and family adventure videos, and we would love it if you want to come along for the journey. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.